All right, as we start to dig deeper into fractions and learning about their size and how to compare them, how to communicate with them, I'm going to show you a little bit about the number lines. I first want to show you where I'm getting all of my tools from today. So mathies.ca has all different types of manipulatives that we use in class that are digital. Most of them are available on all computers. Some are available as apps on tablets or iPads. So the number line. When I'm giving you a problem and I want you to tell me where is 1/2, I want you to make the decisions of what size of fraction is this? Is this greater than 1? Is it less than 1? Is it greater than 0? Which means you have to then place your 0 marker, and you could have put it here, you could put it there, it doesn't matter. It's your decision to make. And your 1, because we know 1/2 is less than 1 whole. So I'm going to put it near the end for no reason other than this is where I want to put it. And this is where I know it's 1 whole. So 1/2 is, let's see if I can get a different color here. We know 1/2 is in the middle. For this task and the paper that you have, I'm not expecting you to count the spots and get the exact point or measure, but it should be reasonably in the middle of 0 and 1. So this is 1/2. Now, as part of communicating and your learning goal of counting by fractions, we have 0/2, 1/2, and 2/2 are 1 whole. I've also asked you for all of the fourths. So 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So you have to decide where are those spots going to go on the number line. Now, from what I observed in class, most of you are recognizing that 0/4 is 0 because there's none of them, and 4/4 is 1 whole. So it is also at the 1 mark. But where do the ones in the middle go? Well, if we know our denominator is 4 equal spots, you then have to split it up into 4 equal spots. Personally, I usually put the middle and then I split 1/2 into quarters and 1/2 into quarters, just like when we were folding our fractions, how we folded it. So here I'm going to go in the middle of 0 and 1/2, and there is 1/4, and then 2/4, and now 3/4. So I have 4 equal sections. 1 section, 2 sections, 3 sections, 4 sections. One of the other reasons I put my number line here is your number line can go on and on. So if I had more room, I could put the 2 holes here. And I could keep counting by quarters or by fourths. 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, until I get up to 8/4. How do we know? I think using your fraction strips will help. So you have this with the numbers on them in your binders, and they're not colored in. But if I look at fourths, I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Let's see if it'll go to extend. I gotta go this way. So if I have, let's see if we can do this here. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So it's like having my 0 and 1 whole, or 4/4. And what if I keep going? Let's get this back here. And let's see. 5/4, 6/4. Sorry, it let me do this last time. All right, there we go. It works. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, which is also 2 holes, which you can see by putting 2 of these holes together, but each of them are broken into fourths or quarters. Okay, so go and try that with your wholes, halves, quarters, and eighths. Keeping in mind, if you wanted to challenge yourself, you could put thirds onto your number line as well. How would you break in between 0 and 1 into thirds, just like we did with the folding activity? The other part of our learning goal was how do we use these number lines to help us see equivalent fractions or prove equivalent fractions? And this part we're just starting to get into, but when you played fraction golf, you recognized that there was more than one way to state the same fraction. So here we can see that there are two fractions being used to represent the same spot. So these are equivalent. They have the same value. They are half, they're between the 0 and 1. So we could say 1/2 or we could say 2/4. These are all equivalent fractions because they all have the same value. They all value 1 whole. So 2 wholes or 2 halves, 4/4 are all equivalent fractions. So as you learn to build and put eighths in, you will see other ways to represent the same number.